WWE Money in the Bank takes place this Sunday in Hartford, Connecticut at the XL Center. We have 11 matches on the card with one match going to be on the pre-show. When you look at Money in the Bank, usually it's one of the best pay-per-views of the year because you have two ladder matches. We all know the best Money in the Bank of all time was 2011. In my opinion, one of the best WWE pay-per-views of all time. So they've had great shows. It's usually a good show. It's hard to have a bad wrestling event when you have two ladder matches. Ladder matches in WWE are almost always very good, especially Money in the Bank matches. So let's start at the bottom. On the pre-show, we have a tag team match, which features the champions, but it's not a title match. You have Daniel Bryan and Rowan. We can't call him Eric anymore, just Rowan, against the Usos. So I was going to go with Bryan and Rowan, but because it's a non-title match, I'm going with the Usos. I think they're going to win, and that's mainly due to set up another match. And I think having it on the pre-show is fine. I know people are complaining about Daniel Bryan being on the pre-show, but this is really just a match to set up another match. This could easily just be on SmackDown. We don't even need this to be on the show. I wouldn't even put this on the show. I just have this match on SmackDown and let these guys not wrestle on the show. You don't have to have every single guy on every pay-per-view. But I think to get to where they want to go, and they're just going to keep having guys go back and forth between brands. They've already killed the Superstar Shakeup. It's only been 3 years since they've had a brand split, but they've killed it. The first time they did it was a disaster because they kept doing this. They'd have guys go back and forth, and it wouldn't make any sense. It'd only be a situation where you could see one guy on Raw and other guys on SmackDown. I think that was better. Now it looks like they're just going to have open season. Anyone can go wherever they want. But I think Usos beat Daniel Bryan and Rowan to set up another match. So Usos are my pick. Next, we go to a match that was originally going to be on the pre-show, but according to Wikipedia, it's on the main show. That's Choni Nese against Arya Daivari. Choni Nese wins. Don't care about this match. I don't care about the cruiserweights. Don't watch this 205 Lives, but I'm going to go with Choni Nese to retain his title. Next, the United States Championship. You have Samoa Joe defending his U.S. title against Rey Mysterio. So Joe squashed him at WrestleMania. I don't think it's going to be that at all, but I'm going to go with Joe to retain. And I think the reason I'm mostly picking Samoa Joe to win this match is because I think Dominic's going to get involved. He's not going to turn on Rey, but he's going to mess the match up for Rey. I think he gets involved in the match and something happens and he accidentally costs his father the title. I don't think he turns on him, but I think it's a fuck up, and I think they'll slowly build to Dominic turning on Rey Mysterio and potentially feuding with his father and maybe even or even teaming up his father against Samoa Joe and another partner. But I think Dominic inadvertently cost Rey Mysterio the match. Next, Roman Reigns against Elias. This is the lock of the night. Roman Reigns wins. Done. Steel cage match. The Miz against Shane McMahon. This is the toughest match I've had picking because this could go either way. I think this is a 50-50 match. Most podcasters that I listen to, most people that have been making predictions, are going with The Miz. I have a hard time picking this match. The big thing I see in this match is it can go either way because both guys need it. You can say, well, Shane beat The Miz at WrestleMania. Why does he need this? Let me tell you why. Shane McMahon's also feuding at Roman Reigns, and I have the feeling WWE wants to set up a big Roman Reigns against Shane McMahon match at a pay-per-view. So you can't have a situation where you lose to The Miz, you can't beat The Miz, and now you're going to face Roman Reigns. How does that make sense? The Miz is a upper mid-cutter. He's not a top guy. You're going to lose to him, but now we're supposed to buy you to beat Roman Reigns. I think Shane McMahon has to beat The Miz in order to feud with Roman Reigns. That being said, it can also go to The Miz. This also could be a situation where it gets extended. They have the finale in the Saudi Arabia show in June. So that could happen too. But I'm going to stick with Shane. I want Shane McMahon. I'm in the minority. I know I probably could be wrong. I think Shane McMahon pulls this out. I think it'll be a match where he wins by escaping the cage. He'll do a big spot. There will be a big Shane McMahon elbow drop from the cage. He'll do something crazy. And it could be a situation like last year, remember Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens? When Strowman chokeslammed Owens to hell, that could happen where the Miz throws Shane off, but he accidentally gives Shane the win. That could happen too. But I'm going to go with Shane here. We have the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. You have Mandy Rose, Natalya, Dana Brooke, Naomi, Bayley, Ember Moon, Carmella, and replacing Alexa Bliss is Nikki Cross. So I didn't get a chance to talk about Alexa, but she was pulled from the match due to an injury. I'm not sure if this is legitimate or not, because it makes sense for Nikki Cross to be in here. And maybe WWE knew about the injury all along, and they were never going to actually put her in a match. Maybe they knew a week or 2 weeks in advance they wanted to get Nikki Cross over, so they had her in that match on Raw. And when I did my Raw review, if you go back and watch it, I'm thinking to myself, why did they have Nikki Cross win? She's not in this match. Why beat the other three? But if you're going to pull Alexa Bliss, it's fine. It makes sense to push Nikki Cross in. And Nikki Cross, surprisingly, is a favorite here. She's one of the favorites to win this match. I think when I look at everyone, I'm going to cut people who I don't think are going to win. Natalya, no way. I don't see her winning at all. Naomi, I don't see her winning. Ember Moon, I don't see her winning. I don't think Carmella's going to win. I don't think they're going to do the same thing they did 2 years ago when they pushed her and it was horrible. So I don't see any of those four winning. I look at Bayley as a possibility. I look at Dana Brooke as a possibility. Unfortunately, to a lot of people, some people don't like her. I think she's a possibility here. I think the two favorites are going to come down to Nikki Cross or Mandy Rose. And of those two, I'm going with Mandy Rose. I think she's going to win. I think they're going to push her. Some people think Sonya Deville is going to come out and turn on Mandy Rose. She's going to screw her friend, screw her over. I think they'll do that eventually, but I don't think this is the show they're going to do that. I think they're going to build to that up later. And I think that's where you set up Mandy and Sonya to have a feud. Maybe they can even do a situation where Mandy wins the title and then she feuds with Sonya Deville. But Sonya Deville will turn on Mandy Rose eventually, and she might play the jealous heel, or it could be the other way around. We don't know. In which Mandy turns on Sonya and tells her to get away from her and thinks of her as a failure. But I think Mandy Rose is going to win. They're going to push her big. And the thing with the Money in the Bank briefcase, we all know Mandy Rose is going to get a big push. But if they feel that WWE doesn't want to push her because they don't think she's ready to get that top female spot, she has the briefcase for a whole year. So they can hold it off for like 8-9 months if they want to. And I have a feeling if Mandy Rose wins, which I think she will, she's going to hold the briefcase for a while before she cashes in. I don't think there's going to be anyone cashing in on Becky Lynch on the show. Next, we go to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. In this match, you have Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Andrade, Baron Corbin, Ali, Finn Balor, Andrade, did I mention him? Randy Orton, and the person who replaced Braun Strowman because he beat him on Raw is Sami Zayn. Just because Sami Zayn took Braun Strowman's spot in this match does not mean Braun Strowman's not going to have a presence in this match. I think Braun Strowman will come out in this match and he will attack Sami Zayn. He won the briefcase last time, it was a failure. So I think because of that, and what happened to Baron Corbin 2 years ago, they've had the last two male Money in the Bank briefcase winners have been complete failures. And I think because of that, WWE is going to take their time and really give this briefcase to someone who they can elevate. And I look at everyone in this match. Who can benefit the most from this match and elevate into a star, elevate into a top guy, someone who they want to push? I look at Fox. I don't think Fox is going to make any bones about it and lie. I think they want a top Hispanic superstar. They have that, and a female superstar too, in Zelina Vega. I think they want to push Almas and Vega as a top act, with Vega as his manager bringing out the briefcase. I think they're going to give him a big push, but I don't think he has to cash in for a while. And that's the thing about this is, as I mentioned earlier at Mandy Rose, who I picked to win the women's, you don't have to give them the title right away. If they're not ready or you don't want to give them the belt right away, they have a briefcase for a whole year. You can wait several months if you want. And I think that's what they're going to do with Andrade. I think Andrade wins. I don't think he's going to cash in later in the night. So Andrade's my pick. It could, again, I look at everyone, Andrade and Drew McIntyre are the favorites. I don't think they need to give the briefcase to McIntyre. He's more as a badass heel. Andrade is more so an opportunist type of feel, and I think he would fit better with this briefcase. I look at everyone else. Sami Zayn, I don't think there's a chance because I think Strowman's going to come out. Ricochet, they rarely ever give it to baby faces. I don't think they want to use Ricochet in that role. They could if they wanted to push him, but the problem is if they gave Ricochet that briefcase, they'd beat him every week, and they do that anyway. So maybe it doesn't matter, but I don't see him getting it. McIntyre is my second favorite to win, but I don't think he is. I'm going with Andrade for him. Corbin, no chance. Ali, no chance. Finn Balor, he's the Intercontinental champion, doesn't need it, doesn't make much sense. Randy Orton, I hope not. They could, but I don't think so. But I'm going Andrade here. Next, we go to the Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch defends her title against Lacey Evans. So this is tough. I'm going to go with Becky Lynch. I think Becky 2 belts sticks around for a while. I think they're going to push her as a top female star. I think she's going to keep the belt. How she does it, I don't see Lacey Evans losing cleanly. I think this is going to be a disputed finish, almost like the WrestleMania finish in which Becky pins Ronda. I'd expect a match to end that way. I think Becky's going to pin Lacey Evans in a roll-up, and it'll be a match where Lacey Evans gets the upper hand, but Becky makes a heroic comeback out of nowhere, and she gets a roll-up win, and she pins Lacey Evans. After the match, I think Lacey Evans knocks out Becky Lynch with that woman's right and damages Becky Lynch. That sets up the next match. Later in the show, the SmackDown Women's Championship after that. Attacked by Lacey Evans, even though Becky keeps her belt. She has to defend her SmackDown Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair, who, obviously has her mind elsewhere right now. I just wanted to mention Ric Flair. Hope he's doing well. There's been conflicting reports. I don't want to comment on it until I get more information. Conrad Thompson says it's not as serious, but then there's the Pro Wrestling Sheet run by that shithead, Ryan Shitten. Has said it's a heart condition. I don't know. I haven't heard Dave Meltzer talk much about it. I hope he's okay. It's Ric Flair. He was almost dead 2 years ago. I don't know what's going to happen, but I hope everything's okay with Ric Flair. And I don't think because Ric Flair's in the state that he is that Charlotte's going to win because of that. I think Charlotte's going because I think it makes sense for the feud. I think this needs to end, and I think Becky Two Belts ends, and I think Becky Lynch goes to Raw. I think she's going to stay on Raw permanently. She can be with Seth Rollins, and she's done on SmackDown because it's too much for her. She has to appear on both shows every week. So I think Charlotte wins after Becky's damage from a Lacey Evans match, and that's it for the feud. It's like they've given Becky big wins over Charlotte. They had her beat her in that match at the first ever women's pay-per-view Evolution, that last woman standing. Becky won. Becky threw her out last in the Royal Rumble. Becky beat her at WrestleMania. Even though she didn't pin her, she still won the match with Charlotte that was in. She's beaten Charlotte in so many big matches. I think they need to give Charlotte the win here over Becky, and I think she is regained the SmackDown Women's title, and she'll be closer to breaking Rick's record. And in a few years, maybe she's there. Who knows? WWE Championship. Kofi Kingston against Kevin Owens. This is almost a lock. Kofi wins. I don't have any doubt he's going to win. I don't think Owens wins at all. I think Kofi wins, and that's it. I think he goes to Daniel Bryan sooner than later after this. I think maybe they'll give Owens another match at Saudi Arabia show. They probably will actually because that's only a few weeks away. But I think Kofi's for sure keeping this. I'd be stunned if he loses. I'm picking him to retain. Now, the main event, which I think will close the show. I could be wrong, but I think this probably ends the show. The WWE Universal Championship. Seth Rollins defends against AJ Styles. These two, when you look at it on pay-per-view, should have the match of the year. They can have a classic wrestling match. But this is the kind of show it's not going to happen. It's hard to have a great match and get the fans invested when they've seen guys fall from the ceiling on ladders and stuff. When you have a great wrestling match following holy shit ladder matches, it's a tough match to produce. I don't know where this is going to go. Maybe this would be better in the middle of the show, and they could have the fans a lot more into it. Because this is going to be for sure this is going 5 hours. Probably over 5 hours with the pre-show. I think this is going over 5. You have 11 matches. It has to. For sure, those ladder matches are going to get a lot of time, especially the men's. I think the W title will get a lot of time. Kofi and KO. The Universal title will get a lot of time too, probably. And Becky's matches will both get time, most likely. And Reigns will probably get time. This is for sure going to be a long night. I think this might be better in the middle of the show, but as to who wins, I have 2 theories. One, Seth Rollins wins, which I hope happens. I'd like to see AJ win, but I think Seth is going to win. I'd be shocked if they take the belt off Rollins. Or 2, the thing that everyone on Twitter is going to shit their pants about. There's going to be so much Twitter outrage. People are just going to lose their shit. That's Brock Lesnar makes his return. He destroys Seth Rollins. He destroys AJ Styles. He poses with the belt, and it sets up Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles at Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia. That could easily happen here. That could so happen. It's such a possibility. And I know people are going to get pissed off. I'm not going to say it because I really don't want it. I want to see Rollins and AJ, and you can still set up that match anyways, even if the way they book. I mean, you can still set up. I don't need to do that here. But I'm going to go with Seth Rollins. I think he beats AJ, and I think AJ is going to turn heel after this match. I think he's had a good run as a face. The fans are more into Rollins, let's be honest. I think AJ is going to turn heel after the match, and this feud continues. But right now, I'm going with Seth Rollins to retain his title. So that's my predictions. Should be a fun show. I'm really looking forward to it. Again, Rollins, AJ, probably be great. Kofi, KO, probably be really good. Charlotte, Becky should be good. I mean, they never have bad matches, really. The men's Money in the Bank should be excellent. The women's could be okay. Maybe Lacey Evans, Becky Lynch, Miz and Shane. That's a cage match. That could be good. I think this is going to be a really good show. So hopefully it's a good show. Hopefully it delivers. And I will see you next on Sunday night when I give you my review for Money in the Bank.